gang, this is Matt, and we're going to take a visit to Burlington Records right here in Burlington, Vermont. So, let's go. So when you come to the store, the first place you're going to want to check is the new arrival section. It's basically right near the front door, and you will find all sorts of good stuff. This is definitely where I come first.
Originally, Burlington Records was Riverwalk Records in Montpelier for a long period of time, and then moved up to Burlington, and we were on our Bank Street location for just shy of a decade, so pretty long time, and then in this new location at College Street for the last 2 months.
So you're Ian?
Yep, Ian is my name.
Yeah, and you own the place?
Yeah, I've been an owner here since 2014.
Nice.
And worked here since 2009, late 2009. Actually, I'm sorry, it's probably 2010.
Yeah.
So yeah, this has been a big part of my life for a while. Yeah.
Why did you move here specifically?
Well, I mean, we had always wanted a bigger space. I mean, a lot of people remember the other space. It was really cramped. We didn't have a lot of room to move around.
I forgot about the second floor entirely.
Yeah, we did have a second floor for a while, but there was mainly like classical and world up there, and it was really inaccessible for customers, so it was kind of a waste of space. So we were kind of fine getting rid of that. And also, you know, other than the fact that we were looking to upgrade, Ken's was looking to expand their kitchen into that area, and so it was just like, all right, well, here we go.
So would you say business is better here overall? Do you think the location changed? Or?
Yeah, I mean, ideally it's going to be a little bit better because College Street is a little bit more accessible for people actually shopping. There's more shops on College Street. There's also, you know, some really cool bars on College Street, restaurants. So that's kind of something that we were looking for. I mean, I think College is like the best street in Burlington too.
Yeah.
But honestly, with business, I mean, we really haven't skipped a beat. No pun intended. Nice. You know, but like it's been just like we had like a couple days where we had to kind of like people had to figure out where we were, but since then it's been great, and it's been great too in the winter, which is a really good sign. You know,
so vinyl has resurged in the past 20 years. Has that helped out your business?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a dumb question, but I want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I do have other people, Ian and I have other people in like the retail world, friends of ours, and they talk about the retail apocalypse and all this stuff, and not to be cocky or anything, but it really hasn't applied to us. You know, we've been just fine and growing, you know, and that's kind of maybe something a little bit different right now for a retail store to be growing, but we certainly are. In terms of resurgence of vinyl, I mean, there's no doubt about it. It has come back. I think that things like this, more analog, more tangible, physical kind of things are gonna continue to resurge because people, like at least conscious people, are feeling distant.
People like me.
Yeah. Feeling distant, you know, with like just everything being on a phone and not being able to kind of reach out to something. And so I think that's definitely a big part of it. And obviously for a lot of people, you know, including you, vinyl really didn't go anywhere, you know, so it's making our lives easier now that there are this mass amount of new labels printing great music, and yeah, it's definitely a good time for sure.
Business is continually getting better and better. Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty large rise in interest in music, I think. Not that there never was before, but this format lends itself to that increase of interest too. So yeah, I mean, we've been doing really well. The original owner started the business in 2009, And that was, if you look at the trajectory of vinyl sales, probably just before it started to pick up. So the intent was not to just like, oh, it's getting, popular, like let's start a shop.
Sure.
It was, we just really love
of doing it.
Yeah, we just really love it, and it happened to work out at exactly the right time. The market, the housing market was down, rents were fairly low. We found a really great spot up on Bank, and we did it straight for 10 years, better and better every single year.
Great for sellers, great for buyers.
Yeah, definitely great for buyers.
I love that there's more vinyl out there. I come to shop and I buy.
And that there's people who care about it,
Yeah. So you guys are behind the Burlington Record Fair. How long have you guys been doing that? How did that start?
So this is the fourth one. I guess just started in the spirit of, like this is what cities do. They put these on and vendors can congregate, and we've had great showings from north of the border, from Vermont, but also neighboring states. And so the fourth annual one is Sunday, May 19th, 11 to 4. And then we do the same kind of format where it's like from 11 to 12, the early bird's $5, then after that's free. And that's at Nectar's.
Yeah.
And we're expecting just another solid showing there. DJs all day and
great vendors last year.
Yeah, good beer.
I found another guy.
Yeah,
amazing.
That's good, and that's good. That's what we look for. 2 years ago we had a friend of ours that had a whole lot of hip hop, and that was awesome. He did great because, and that's the kind of thing with metal too. It's like we do need those other genres because it's hard to find used in those more not niche. When I say hip hop or metal, but lesser popular genres compared to just classic rock. Yeah.
I started it roughly 3 years ago just as a way to kind of build a community around this thing and to connect with all the stores together that were in Burlington and the surrounding regions. And it's just a really fun day. Yeah. So, and now this is the fourth year. We're still at Nectar's. Love those guys.
Yep. So what's the strangest record someone's tried to sell you?
Well, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, there's always a lot of really hokey Vermont stuff that comes in, and unless it's something that we know we can sell, we usually, don't really buy a lot of that stuff. There has been one, and I can't remember the exact title, but it's a record we kind of just rolled our eyes to for years, but then recently, because of some niche cult thing, it became a $100 record out of nowhere, and then every time we saw it, we were grabbing it. So, I mean, I guess it's these lesser known Vermont old Vermont records that come in, and those are always a little strange.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever been stumped as to how do you price a record? Does a record come in, you're like, I can't find anything on this?
Yeah, absolutely, because there's a lot of records that come in that are unofficial releases, and you can't really find a lot of sales history for those. So that can be very tricky.
Research?
And it's research, yeah. It's also just experience and eyes. I mean, obviously, Ian's at the top of that list for us. I'm there close to a second there for recognizing things, but you always see new things. It's amazing. It's just amazing how many records there are out there, so yeah.
Any weird customer stories?
Man, there's always weird customers, especially in an environment that is, we're not a thrift shop by any means, but an environment that offers cash for items. You always have some weird things. I remember one guy trying to sell me a Bonnie Raitt record, and he was a little off, and I turned him away, and he looked at me outside the shop and smashed the record over his knee, and I locked the door for about a half hour after that and just let him drive away. But yeah, individuals like that, that are coming in looking for money, sometimes it can be a little weird. Yeah.
For more info on Burlington Records, check out the link below. Also, if you like this video, give it a like. And of course, do subscribe if you haven't already done so. That's it for now. Take care, and ever forward.